Viper 4-2 call sign that evening. I'm always proud to be a Tiger, but I was especially proud to be a Tiger that day in December. The term fog of war always seemed a bit abstract until I found myself scrutinizing in the middle of it. I woke up to one of the loudest explosions I've ever experienced, but was confused by the lack of incoming rocket attack or the CRAMs going off. Only after the dust started to settle did the alarm sound telling everyone to shelter in place. Hour after hour we waited with very little news trickling in, even as the sounds of gunfire and more explosions came from across the base. I finally made it to the squadron later that morning and received an update from our Tiger intel team. The base was under a ground attack and the insurgents had pulled up in some buildings on the other side of the runway. As I finally stepped to fly, the plan had not yet been solidified, but the Tigers would be ready when it was. None of the usual engine noise, none of the dozens of helicopters darting around the apron. No sounds were around at all, except for the two ships of Apaches circling and occasionally flying their 30 millimeters in the distance. It was eerily quiet all around. Swift and I started our jets and got in contact with the Boston Danger, who was circling above us. They passed us the most up-to-date plans and coordinates for the 3 buildings in the besieged compound. As I typed the coordinates in, it really hit how close to home this was when my GPS showed the target buildings less than 0.79 miles from where I was sitting. As we got airborne, the plan started to come together more firmly. There were no friendly troops in the compound, so it would be easier and safer to destroy the buildings than it would be to send in the ground forces, as eager as they may have been. The plan may have been simple, but the logistics still were not. A 4-ship of Tigers simultaneously striking one building at a time, while the weather began to move in and the sun had set. Additionally, this would be a danger close drop on a massive scale, with thousands of Americans still hunkered down on that side of base and the small Afghanistan village just on the other side of the wall. The margin for error was non-existent there. Once the decision was made and the plan went into effect, things moved quickly. Our Tiger 4 ship quickly and effectively destroyed the first building. The Boston Danger were forced to land for fuel, and Swift and I made a quick visit to the tanker to top off. We were then able to return and destroy the second building with another attack. As Swift and I circled and watched the second building burn into the night, we got word that the ground forces were now comfortable moving in to clear out the third building. So we were pleased to watch and hear as they took no fire as they entered and began moving throughout the compound. Once we were cleared off, we landed uneventfully and were greeted inside with our choice of MRE. I'm always proud to be a Tiger, but I was especially proud that day in December. I was proud of our enlisted force, the base defenders dutifully standing guard to make sure that the Tigers and our jets were ready to answer the call. The Tiger intelligence with live updates throughout the day. The Tiger SARMs and weather continued to do their job expertly despite the uncertainty and chaos of the day. The Tiger AMU and crew chiefs who were out there with us in full battle auto, ready to both launch and catch our jets. They were more excited than I was when we returned with empty bomb racks. I'm proud of the Tigers and the state of the squadron. When the time came to get the job done, there was no hesitation or worry. We had the training and ability to carry out the mission at any given moment. On that day in December, the mission was brought into our front door, and unfortunately for the Taliban, the Tigers were there to answer. Tiger, Tiger.
All for freedom!